Hello, people of the interwebs. I am Glenn from Fun King 3D. I take that 30 seconds and try to come up with something. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Welcome to Project Talk. It's just Project Talk now, somewhere with James and Glenn. I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and with me, of course, as always, is my brother from another mother, James, from Print N Play. I am completely lacking energy this week. I've been sick all week, so I will be less fun than usual.
I'm not saying something.
Hey, I'm the Fun King.
Uh,
But anyway, welcome to episode 51. Now, just to kind of set the record on that, this isn't actually episode 51 because Project Talk wasn't Project Talk before Project Talk. So it was what's 3D printing. And I don't know if I kept track of those episode numbers, but when Project Talk started, it started as Project Talk episode 1. Well, this is still Project Talk. It's just episode 51, and I really wanted to change the thumbnail because if you look at my YouTube channel, it's just that thumbnail.
So now it's going to be just this thumbnail.
No. Okay, so I didn't create that thumbnail until this afternoon.
And it shows.
Oh, it does. And I'm not feeling well, so and we'll get to
and
that.
It shows.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can feel it, that's for sure. But I told James that I was working on it, and I said I just have no creativity right now, and so I literally went to I think it's Pixabay that I use, and I searched for like fun background or something like that, weird background or crazy background, and that image that I used in the thumbnail came up, and I went, "Yep, I'm using that one." And then the font. Oh, I went and I searched. I love fonts. I'm a font fanatic, and so I went and I just Googled powerful font or power font, and that font that came up is actually called Diesel Power. And I thought, oh, that's quite appropriate. I'll take that. And then threw the little embossing on it to give it some texture. And then I wanted to do I wanted something to say that it wasn't regular Project Talk, that it's the next step in Project Talk. And Next Generation came to mind. So then I had to go get a Star Trek Next Generation font for that.
Which, I mean, that's pretty easy to find. I've done that myself.
Oh yeah, no, it's all out there. It's all out there. But yeah, so that is what it is. So for those of you who didn't see the tweet, let's touch on this. I absolutely intentionally put in that tweet that the stream was starting at 4:32, and we absolutely started at 4:32. So Google, YouTube will not allow me to schedule the stream for 4:32. So we go by Twitter time or whichever.
I think we were both on here 15 minutes early today, though. We could have actually started at 4:30 if you'd felt like it.
Yeah, probably. If we weren't busy talking.
We have expectations to meet.
I would have been in earlier than that, except for my machine said, "Oh no, you have updates. You need to restart." And I thought, oh, of course. But also for those who missed the Twitter thread, my child, I had made the comment about the thumbnail, not being great, and my child says, "You're correct. That thumbnail looks like garbage. It's almost as bad as your bald head." So now I couldn't allow my child to not get a response from me on Twitter. He would cry himself to sleep. So
even more so than usual.
Right. So I made the tweet. I got it from a folder on your computer called "My Bestest Thumbnails from when my dad finally invites me to Project Talk." But now I have to admit something, because my first instinct was to tweet back, "Well, it definitely wasn't my greatest creation. That would have been my son Zach."
Oh, you should have done that. That's the type of savagery we need on Project Talk. That'll keep people coming back.
so there's a lot of people that follow me on Twitter that don't necessarily understand me.
Like me.
So I didn't think that was a good idea. So for those of you who joined us here, you got the inside scoop on that. Oh, but anyway,
So you
I'll
sound
go
like you
down
had a
the
great week.
oh, I'll go down the chat in just a minute. But yeah, so Wednesday I just generally woke up not feeling well, and in my life it's pretty normal. Like I always have days where I just don't feel good and I don't know what it is, and it's usually a sugar imbalance, but or low blood count, whatever. And so I pushed through on Wednesday and I worked. And I told my coworker, I said, if I'm not feeling good tomorrow, he just got back. Again, I work from home. I don't go to the office, but he was out for a week with the COVID. And so I said, if I'm not feeling good tomorrow, I think I'm going to call out. Well, I woke up the next morning still not feeling good. So I had a sinus infection, or I still have. I couldn't wear my glasses because they couldn't touch the bridge of my nose because it's so sensitive. I mean, it still hurts now, but I can wear my glasses. My face all right here, up in here, the headache, the constant headache. And then last night I had a dream that I had a massive nosebleed, and like subconsciously, is that the right way? I don't know.
Yep.
I didn't wake up, but I knew what was going on, and I thought, oh, the infection is finally broke loose, and my nose is running. Nope, I woke up with blood everywhere on my hands and stuff this morning. So I actually had a nosebleed in the middle of the night. That was fantastic.
I mean, you're probably just picking your nose like you always do.
Well, when I Googled about the sinus infection, it did say that you can get it from picking your nose, and the doctor said I wouldn't have so many nosebleeds
If I kept my finger out of there.
finger out of
Now remember, if your nose is bleeding, it means you're picking it too much or
you
not
gotta,
enough.
You got to pick it more gently. No, well, it also says you can get sinus infections from plucking nose hairs, and I'm all the time doing that. I film on a 4K camera. I don't want nose hairs showing up. Good God.
I film on 4K too, but there's no prettying this up, so I don't bother.
But no, the doctor said no, the doctor did say that diabetics having the diabetes, you're more likely to get things like sinus infections, just because it's a immunodeficiency compromisation, whatever. My immune system sucks. So that was my week. Let me run down the chat real quick before we get too far into this. I'm about out of energy. You might have to entertain for the next
Nope.
almost.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have tonight. So the women don't find you handsome; they should at least find you lying down.
All right. So Andy, for those of you who don't know, Jake Griffith is Andy. He gets bragging rights today because, according to my chat, he was first. And then Brian's here, Builder's Mark. Nadav is here, finally. Skipping shows. Jeez. Alan Osborne's here. Tom Elrod. Ollie is here. Alan King is here. If I miss you guys, just wave your hand because it's just the way it goes. My mother is here. Sergio's here. John Strand. Nightbot's here. Mitch 3D is here. And that's it. We got 11 watching and like 6 people chatting. So if you're watching and you're not chatting, at least drop us a hello so that we can recognize that you're here. And get you in the running to win the grand prize for tonight, which is absolutely nothing. My mother says I'm late. Nope, I was perfectly on time, but I already told that story. And there's Adam popping in saying hello.
Hello.
You know, Mitch 3D said, hi, Glenn's mom, which is kind of weird to me. Mitch saying hi to my mom, but technically I did talk to Mitch's mom too. So, you know. Brian said, no, late by a minute. Listen, Brian, I've explained this to you before, and I need you to write this down so that you have it in front of you for next time. It goes by my clock. Yeah, I don't know what time your clock says. I only know what time my clock says when I start. And as soon as that 30-second countdown starts, that's when it starts. Hey, you got no file. So I don't know if Zach will be joining me tonight. I've invited him. He had a pool party today as a inductance into youth at church. He's going from the little kids environment to the big kids environment. So he was there. So he's a little tired out, but he still may join us. Brian said it's all good. I'm only picking on you, Brian. You know that I don't take any of that stuff seriously. Just know that when I'm late, I'm good and late.
I want to see. This is that action camera I bought. I want to see how it handles the lighting down here, and it looks like not great.
Well, I mean, on this particular screen, not bad. I mean, you figure one, this is only broadcasting at 720, and two, you only have half of a screen. So.
Oh yeah, that's only so I'm looking at it in OBS.
Yeah.
Also, I think the colors are a little off.
Nope, you just have jaundice.
Oh no, how could this happen to me?
Usually by liver failure.
Oh well, I had a bad run.
It's too many of those Canadian beers.
Let's put it into video mode and see if that. Video settings.
John Strand asked if Josh was joining us today. No. I mean, he has talked about coming over. I don't know if he's joining us on a stream. I'm assuming that we're talking about Alien Josh. So here's the problem with the name Josh. I know like 9 people named Josh. So if we're talking about, the title's talking about aliens. Oh, that's because it's episode 51, Area 51, episode 51. Come on, stick with my dumb humor here. It's been a rough week. That'd have been good, John. Why didn't I think about that? Because I don't remember if Josh mentioned it in the chat or if he sent me a text. I don't know, but he had made a comment about coming over for dinner one night, and I don't know if that'll be on a Sunday so that he can be here on stream. I don't know. He's got an open invitation anytime. He knows where I live.
I'm trying to get rid of the yellow.
John said, "Oh, right over my pinhead." No, your thought on it was better than mine. So listen, I come up with those stream titles pretty much right when I'm scheduling the stream on Sunday mornings. And I scheduled a little later today because I was still debating on whether I was going to have the energy to do this or not. But so pretty much what just pops into my head is what gets put in there. And the great part is almost nobody reads them. So, but I bet because of that cool new thumbnail, though, that's what drew your attention.
Makes sense to me. Okay, well, for the life of me, I can't figure out how to fix it. It is just quite yellow.
Throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash and buy a real GoPro.
I can't afford it. Oh, well, it kind of took some of the yellow out there.
I'll tell you, if it wasn't for the fact that thing overheats so quickly, I would have absolutely nothing bad to say about the GoPro 10. The video quality on that thing is just beautiful. It's super portable. It's easy to use. But if I'm going to use it in the garage, like even with the garage open and stuff, I have to put a fan blowing on it, or I'll only get like maybe 20 minutes out of it and it shuts down for heat. And of course, they say, oh, well, that's because most people use a GoPro for just a few seconds at a time. No, bull. You know, like if you're a snowboarder, or if you're a snowboarder, you're probably okay. But you know, like do mountain biking and all of that stuff, you're going to strap that thing onto your handlebars and take off for more than a couple minutes at a time. So yeah, I call BS. I call that they don't know how to make it not overheat, so that's how they justify it. But I digress. It's a nice camera otherwise. I use my my little portable DeWalt fan, and I just put it on the floor on the lowest setting, aiming up at the camera on the tripod, and it keeps it cool enough that it doesn't shut off. That fan, I've had that fan running now for over a week. I mean, I keep changing the batteries. I can get just over 24 hours on a 5 amp hour battery on that fan on the lowest setting, but it's been blowing on that hard drive as I'm attempting to recover stuff off a different hard drive. I guess that was the story I didn't tell yet.
Yeah, another drive fail on you?
Well, the drive that failed, the main drive in my Linux server failed when I shut the machine down to take out a different drive that was giving me issues. And I took it out to put a different one in, and then I was just going to copy the data back over, and then the server didn't fire up. So I guess I didn't talk about the first drive that was giving me trouble, because the second drive was way more important. Which, good news, I was actually able to recover enough stuff. Did I say enough stuff?
You did.
Enough stuff. I was able to recover a sufficient amount of data to get everything back up and running. So again, huge shout out to everybody that took time to check their hard drive inventory to see if what you guys had would work for me. I super, super appreciate it, but I'm also glad I didn't need it. I mean, some of the major stuff was like if you're a Linux guy, the fstab file or fstab. I don't know which one it is. I call it the fstab. The Samba server configuration file was a big one for me, and the MDADM RAID file. Those three were super critical, and I was able to recover all of those. And then I use this. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this software, but I use this software called Plex for categorizing my home movies. You know, just movies of me and the kids and stuff.
Yeah, all stuff that you've made yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But I was I had to reinstall that, but I was able to recover the information as far as, because I was able to reset up all the libraries to be the same, because I recovered the RAID configuration. I was able to then retain all of the watched and unwatched data, which is great, because my mom really crabs at me when all of a sudden everything gets reset and she has to go through and manually tag everything that she doesn't want to see. So I did it for you, Mom. I did it for you.
What a good son.
And I was telling James, I've been off my medication this week because of being sick. So the acid reflux is back, and so's the cough. So I'll be coughing a little more tonight than I have been.
I gave up on that for the time being.
The Guinness asked, what file system was there? ext4? Yes, ext4, which I have a I don't even know what it is, a piece of software on my Windows box that allows me to read the ext4s, which is where the other bad drive is hooked up right now, trying to just scan it for bad. I have a backup copy of that data. I did a lot of work while that drive was giving me trouble, and I'm not absolutely sure that I have duplicates of everything, and that's all the video files for Fun King Garage. So, but if there's anything missing, it's stuff that I've already produced. So, although it would be a loss, it wouldn't be a terrible loss.
And if there's video of your kids missing, would you say that's footage that you've already reproduced?
Well, it wouldn't be footage I reproduced. It would be content that I reproduced.
You got the joke and you decided just to poop on it anyways.
I had to spin it to be my own. Brian said, "Can I suggest cloud storage?" You can suggest it all you want. Here,
I
there's
won't do it.
two problems with cloud storage. One, because of the size files I have, it takes forever to move stuff
How many
up and
evers does
down.
it take?
Huh?
How many evers does it take?
4.
4 of them. That's a lot of
4
evers.
evers. Yeah. And the other problem with cloud storage is it's ridiculously expensive.
When you think about what you're getting.
Well, it's, I mean, what they're doing for you is probably fine. Through work, we use iDrive backup, and it works swimmingly. I just can't afford it for home. And unfortunately, the work account's not big enough to back up my stuff. In fact, we back up all of our stuff for work in less space than it takes me to back up my video files. So, but again, just for the record's sake, my Linux server, all of my data, the drives that hold like my movies and stuff, those are mirrored. All of my video drives, those are mirrored. The main drive was not. That server started out as a hobby machine. Like, I set it up just to stay relevant in Linux. I'm not a Linux guru. I'm not like, I still have to Google a lot of things, but I can move around in Linux and I can get stuff done. So I never really thought about the main drive. And I pulled the date code on that drive. That drive was 16 years old. So it owes me nothing. So,
Not even a hug?
not even a hug. Have you thought of converting to NVMe or SSD? I could go to SSD in this machine, not NVMe, because it's an older main board. It's a dual Xeon main board. It was donated to me by my church. They were just going to pitch it. They're like, "You want this?" And I'm like, "Yup, absolutely."
They pitched it and you caught it.
Yeah. So, but again, like, I didn't even buy a new drive this time. I had a drive. I had a drive that was still good because it was the drive that was in my machine when I went to SSD. So, yeah. Whew. Well, you guys are just exhausting me tonight. Keep them questions coming.
You don't even need me here for this.
The McGinnis said Google has 2 terabytes for like $99 a year. It's not bad. Okay, 2 terabytes.
I'm up to 16 terabytes of data storage myself.
Yeah, I'm at 10, 20, 30, about 40 terabytes of data storage right now. So, and yeah, there is some stuff. There's some stuff that I could, like, at the point that I've used the content, I could technically get rid of it and just have it gone. The problem with that is at some point, Fun King Garage is going to become super popular, and I'm going to hit 100,000 subscribers, and I'm going to need to do like a throwback type video, and I want all my content there. Plus, with the Patreon, my intent is to release all of the bloopers and the bleeps and the bloops to my Patreons, which the funniest stuff happens when I'm filming the interview stuff. It's not even when I'm filming the content. It's when I'm having to try to remember a script. That's when the fun stuff happens. Mitch 3D says archive stuff on Blu-ray. Well, I do have a Blu-ray writer. I don't know if I've ever even written anything to a Blu-ray disc. Just because, like, when I bought my burner, the discs were so ridiculously expensive. When it's on YouTube, it's never gone. Sanders 3D might have a good point there. Technically.
So I thought you were trying to keep it with like no loss in fidelity. Once I'm finished a video, I will delete it from my drive, and then if I need footage from it in the future, I use an app to download the content from the video and take out what I need.
But do you lose quality that way?
I mean, you're gonna lose a little bit, right? Because YouTube has compressed it. So when I'm downloading it, it's downloading what it's done to it.
Yeah, I guess it's technically MP4 at that point.
But like ultimately, is it worth you storing terabytes and terabytes worth of data for? Because like you're saying, it's going to be for like collection videos showing off stuff. It's not like, oh, I want to re-show off this one shot where I zoomed in really well and show everybody exactly how it looked or whatever. So you might just be data hoarding for no reason.
Hey, do not use the H word. It's not nice. It's very possible, and maybe once the Fummins project is done, then I could see about doing something else with that data.
Maybe.
But this way it's just easier to get to it if I need it. I don't know.
I can't get this Fire Stick to finish booting up this week, so.
John said he's collecting. That's right. I'm collecting videos.
Collecting your own content.
The Guinness said commercial movies, no point to save, only put photos in your own film videos to cloud. 2 terabyte is plenty enough. No, I have almost 8 gigs of just Fummins video. Or 8 terabytes, sorry. Of just Fummins videos. 4K video is massive. Brian wants to know if you made the heatsink for it.
No, I've had no time to work on any of my own stuff. It took me 3 weeks to get a video done that was 6 minutes long and didn't have any intense editing in it whatsoever. But sooner or later I'll probably finish something maybe.
James spent 6 hours this morning soldering one connection, but that's only because he didn't have any electricity.
Yeah, I just had to breathe on it.
He just kept rubbing the soldering iron like this when it wouldn't get hot enough.
I started rubbing 2 soldering irons together.
The things you have to do as a maker.
Wake up. Something, make it. Let's try a different power adapter and see what happens.
You ever thought, Glenn, of recording the video, then instead of saving it to YouTube, saving it to a Blu-ray and then exporting it from there so you're not keeping tons of video on the drive? Brian, I'm definitely going to look into that as far as the Blu-ray goes. I do have some blank Blu-rays, but again, like when I bought them, they were stupid expensive. I have no idea what a Blu-ray recordable is cost-wise now, but it's got to be cheaper than buying another hard drive.
Especially, how much does a Blu-ray hold? 40 gigs? 80 gigs?
That was 50.
I'm going to Amazon right now. I'm going to answer this for you.
Okay, fantastic. Please spoon feed me so I don't have to. I'm going to keep building my Lego.
A 50 pack of 25 gig Blu-ray discs is $51.
So $2 a disc?
$2 a disc for 25 gigs.
No, you said 50 discs.
It's 25 gigs a piece.
So $1.
Oh no, it's $1 a piece. Sorry, and you can and they actually have another box that looks like it's the same thing with a slightly different colored label for $46. So let's just call it $1 a disc. So $1 for 25 gigs.
All right,
$10 for 250. $100 for 2.5 terabytes. It's not getting a lot cheaper, to be honest.
Now, let's say that I was going to back up the whole 8 terabytes, which is 8,000 gigabytes. That would take 320 discs.
Yeah, which would cost you
$320.
$330.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for $330, what's the largest SSD I could buy?
Like SSD would be more expensive. You can get a mechanical drive in the 16 terabyte range around that price, between $300 and $400.
Yeah, because you're right. The SSDs in that that large of a capacity are gnarly expensive. So then comes down to, I mean, storage. As long as you store it properly, a mechanical drive will store fine. So I could hook up a drive, back up the information, disconnect it, and then put it in a hermetically sealed, temperature controlled. That's why no one uses Blu-rays anymore. Yeah, it's just the backup options. Like, I mean, I looked at tape and stuff. You know, newer tape option. I have a tape backup. It's scuzzy. I can't even remember the size of it, but I bet it's incredibly small. I bet it's like
36. Well, I'm trying to think. It's scuzzy and it's tape.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess it's 36 gigs.
Oh no, I'm thinking like 250 or 500 megabytes.
Oh, well.
It's like super old school. Yeah. The guy said, fire in house and all your local backups are gone. True. But here's a secret. If there's a fire in my house, those backups are the least of my concern. I mean, yeah, I'd be sad, but I'd be more sad about other things. And, you know, my family safety would be the most important thing. I'll put it in a firebox.
Well, I had a plan for working on something today using this Fire Stick. I wasn't expecting it just not to turn on again.
Well, then you don't need them anymore. Exactly. Houses burned down. I won't be a YouTuber anymore. That's for sure.
I have something to show. My my non-prototype stickers showed up this week, and they're pretty cool. So I might as well go full screen.
Yeah, you got to make yourself bigger.
I've been trying eating more.
How's that working out for you?
I mean, I've definitely gotten bigger. Okay. So we got this guy here. It's not gonna focus because there we go. It did it. No, it had it for a second and then it gave up.
It's gonna be weird, but I'm gonna full screen you.
Yeah.
It'll be weird because of the split background now.
Well, am I not just gonna take up the whole screen if you full screen me?
I don't know if it does that.
I think so.
Out. I just can't. I just don't know how to do it anymore. Poop! And just like that, he was gone. And now our viewership will go up. I don't know if he made the same mistake that he did last week when he was trying to do something and clicked the wrong button. He's coming back in now.
If you didn't,
there he is.
If you didn't want me in the show, you could have just asked me to leave.
Did you do the same thing that you did the last time?
What's that?
Did you click the wrong thing?
Probably.
All right, solo layout. There you go. See, no, it just hovers right in the middle, so you still have a border around it.
I got a little bit of that, what's its name? Their Two-Face thing happening.
What would have been really awesome is if you had a shirt that was half my logo and half your logo.
I wasn't prepared for this one very specific instance. Okay, let's see if I can. There we go. So there's the VHS.
You know, so because it's glossy and I can see the gloss, it just made me think that what would make that thing really amazing is if it was a puffy sticker.
I would love to get a puffy sticker, but also I feel like they're super expensive.
I didn't even know if you could get them anymore, but
I mean, I got domed stickers for my computer, so similar idea.
Right. Well, a dome sticker is an epoxy covering, as where
the it just it's an actual dome of plastic that's hollow.
It's got a little bit of foam inside of it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, a tiny little bit of cushion foam in it.
I see. So that's the miniature VHS one. Then there's Retro Rainbow, which is inspired by, as you can tell, that guy. There's this guy, which is not at all a ripoff of MTV.
No,
And
nope, no ripoffs here.
and just the blue pea. If your pee is blue, you should go to a doctor though.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Or you've had too many freezies. That's it.
I know eating too much Fruity Pebbles will turn your poop green.
No, from experience.
Yeah, it's kind of scary the first time you realize it's happening.
Okay, Glenn, you can come back now.
Okay.
So I'll be giving away some of them on the Retro channel in a future video. And at some point, they'll also be up for sale for, I think, $5 for the 4 for anywhere in Canada and the US on the website. That's what it's looking like right now, but we'll see. Because I'm not trying to make a bunch of money off of them or anything. So
no, it's never about well, I won't say it's never, but in the beginning, it's not about that. It's about getting your name out there.
it's true.
I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers that's actually how they make it. YouTube isn't the one that pays the bills.
I would say the
YouTuber, I'll let you in on a secret. YouTube doesn't pay the bills.
No. I think for the majority of people that make it in YouTube, the YouTube ads is like the small part of their business.
Yeah.
Patreon for creators is big. Merchandise and like brand deals / sponsored videos. Alan
King wants to know if you can ship to the UK. Stickers should be easy enough to ship to the UK. You can just put them in an envelope.
Yeah, if I can get in an envelope and get a stamp to send it, then I can send it. Because that is the current plan, is that all the stuff will be just regular mail. Not worth insuring.
Yeah, shipping out of the country is a pain.
So yeah, should not be a problem. Yeah, so I had gotten...
I had to read that from Brian a couple of times. One of your kind, James, brought ketchup-flavored Doritos to a bonfire I was at on Saturday. One of your kind.
Ketchup-flavored Doritos aren't an all-the-time thing. They're a special occasion. Like, they pop up once in a while for sale.
Back for a limited time only.
Exactly. Yeah, the prototype ones were significantly bigger than the non-prototype ones, but I wasn't super impressed. I think we talked about this last week, that they didn't die cut all the way through the
paper.
Yeah.
It's weird too, because like when you're sizing stickers and it's like, oh, you can get 3-inch stickers, and you're like, 3-inch, that's tiny. I don't want no 3-inch stickers. The first Fun King garage stickers I ordered are like, they're like 4 or 5 inches wide. They're a monster.
Yeah, so these ones here are they're the cut is 2 inches by 2 inches. None of them are quite 2 inches by 2 inches, because they scale it to whatever looks best within that range. But
right.
And then I buy them in bulk, so I've got bags and bags of these guys now, because
it's cheaper that way.
It is cheaper that way. Well, that's the thing. I went to order.
Oh, Brian clarified. He said by your kind, he meant Canadian, not fat guy who eats Doritos.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, both are true. I'm a fat guy, and I do eat the Doritos.
I actually knew he was saying Canadian, but that's just funny to me. Gosh, Brian.
So unprofessional and insulting. So Kay was talking to me before the stream, and she's like, hey, so if I decide I want to do a takeout meal tonight instead of cooking, can I just surprise you with something? I said, yeah, I didn't feel like eating what we were going to cook tonight anyways. So now if she doesn't do it, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
I had my wife stop and pick me up a salad on the way home, and I just completely like nommed on that before the stream.
I made I made salad for dinner last night, and then we had second dinner because it wasn't. We didn't have enough protein in it. It was too much actual salad.
Yeah, that is the problem with
Well,
salad is that, you know.
well, and the salad that I made called for mixed greens, so we bought the plastic tub of mixed greens. You know, I'm sure you guys probably have those as well, right?
Yep.
And we started going through it, and like half of it was rotten. It was like, and we'd only had it in the fridge for 24 hours. It was
I
just,
hate that. I hate that so much. You pay
yeah,
so much money for fresh, you know, anything,
yeah.
and then it like gets slimy.
Well, and that was the thing too. So we start sorting through, and we're like pulling out the good stuff, but then anything that's close to the stuff that wasn't good, you don't want to use. So, and then you're rinsing it and everything else. And by the time all was said and done, we didn't end up using a lot of it. And then it was with so it was like mixed greens with pears and avocado and chicken and a little bit of goat cheese and walnuts and everything else. And like all the other stuff adds up pretty decent, but it just because we got so little greens out of it and we didn't want to go overboard with it just being the other stuff. So, yeah, Kay opened it and she's like, "Oh, it's already got that slightly off smell to the and it was supposed to be good for another week too, the container."
Yeah. No, never is. It's always
No.
very disappointing.
The other thing that's been happening a lot too is that we'll buy bread products and we'll bring them home and it's like, "Oh, this is good," like mostly like pizza crusts and pitas and flatbreads and stuff like that. And it's like, "Okay, it's good for another week," and we bring it home within 2 days it's moldy. And what's happening is they're getting it in bulk shipments and they're freezing it and then they're thawing it and putting it
Oh,
out. And so obviously all that extra moisture gets on top of the bread
yeah.
and then it molds wherever the moisture is. So we have to make sure that anything we buy we bring home and either freeze ourselves again or you're opening up and patting out any of the extra moisture beforehand.
Yep. It's getting too hard to buy food anymore. And it's so expensive. We went we went to Outback Steakhouse last night. Do you guys have Outback up there?
We have out front. Does that count? No, we have Outback.
I didn't know if that was a multiple, you know, I mean, it's based around Australia, but it's a US company. But we went because I won a gift card from our company picnic this year, $100 gift card. And I had said to Grisilla, I said, "Oh, this will be nice. You know, we'll go get, we can have lunch there a couple of times or whatever." So we went to dinner last night. It took the whole entire $100 gift card, and we didn't eat anything extravagant.
Takeout
Like,
just gets more, and I mean it's not all the takeout places either. Right? Like not all their fault or whatever, but yeah, takeout meals are just getting more and more expensive. You get less and less for your money.
yeah, no, like you used to be able to go in there and get like the small, like the 6-ounce steak or whatever for like $12. You know, nice cut of meat, whatever, $12. You're out. Nope. Every steak in there is at least $20.
Yep.
It's like this steak was hamburger last week.
Brian says, you know what makes some rot like that is the moisture in the refrigerator. You have to put it in a crisper drawer set to low. I learned that from my sister, who's a vegetarian.
Well, a vegetarian would probably know these things.
Brian says that's so wrong, James. Sorry, I'm not sure what we're talking about being wrong now. Because there's
He said, because I made that comment about, you know, being a fat guy that eats Doritos, and he said, "I don't do insults."
but that was 3 minutes ago. I don't know if we're coming back to it. Brian, let me know what was so wrong.
And Brian, it's just us joking around, man. It's what we do.
Yeah.
Trust me. I've said it a number of times. I am not thin-skinned. Like, I don't offend easy. So, you know, like, I don't want to offend somebody else. I can pick on James. He's my brother.
I am heavy, and I'm his brother.
I had he's a friend of mine, but he was a coworker. He was one of my employees when I worked at Best Buy Mobile, and he was heavy. And I don't know, I'd say something to him like, you know, "Hey, you know, you need to go put those phones away or whatever." And he'd always go, "Oh, you're just making me do it because I'm the fat guy." You know, like it was just a running joke with us. and a customer overheard this go down one time, and they got upset. Why are you picking on him for his weight? And so I had I had two choices. I could be like, no, ma'am, it's just a joke. We're good friends. Or I could go the other way and be like, well, look at him. The dude's fat. Now, keep in mind, I was also heavier at the time, too. So, of course, I chose the second way. Oh, what a fun day that was.
Your food situation with the food spoiling. Oh, okay. Just he's saying it's bad. So actually, now that I think about it, so we did the salad last night. We did a like a web order to pick up our groceries. So we actually got the salad, the spring mix the same day. But oh well.
Yeah, but like, how long did they have it? You know,
That's
like.
True. Well, and it doesn't say anywhere that
or
it doesn't say anywhere that rot isn't part of the mix, right? That's just one more thing to mix in.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's a feature, not a bug.
That's right. Should I show this mouse that I got?
Oh yes.
I am as you guys probably know, I am a pro gamer through and through. I have a shirt that says I own noobs, but it spells it with the proper P on own, so I own noobs. And I'm always looking for new peripherals. And I found this awesome gaming mouse that I couldn't turn down. It's a multicolor gaming mouse. You can tell by the quality of that box right now that it's it's good to go. It's one of those new super light mouse too. Like this entire thing, including the box, is lighter than.
Can I ask? Have you actually opened the box?
I haven't. Oh, because I guess it could be.
Maybe there's nothing in there.
It's a possibility. This mouse in the box is lighter than this IntelliMouse that I have been using. So we're definitely going to want to cut into this and take a look. Now, for those of you that are Canadian, you can see that I bought it at a place known for their technical products, which is Dollarama. It was a $4 item, which is a high tier of item there. I believe $4 is the highest tier of item you can get.
It's going to be styrofoam.
So not only did I buy this, I actually bought two other mice, but they're for projects because you can also get from them a wireless mouse for $4. And Kay goes, "Are those the best use for projects?" I'm like, "Well, it's for projects that are just going to be like silly things that I'm working on, and you can't buy a wireless mouse off Amazon for $4." So we'll go ahead and let's see. Duff says, "Gotta watch the in-house salad. They like to use things close to expiration to make them." Yeah.
Gross. Where does that happen?
Kay and I are officially caught up on Better Call Saul. We're ready for the finale on Monday.
Oh, ditto. I mean, I'm not ready. I don't want it to happen because I love that show. But
okay, so let's okay. So first things, we got this premium.
Duff said $4. That's top shelf.
It's got this premium braided cord on it.
Is it actually braided?
It is. Look at that.
Wow, that's worth the $4 right there.
It's got some Wayne Brady action right there. And then I think if we just give it a little tuggerino here.
Easy now, family friendly channel.
You can tell it's a premium product by the fact that the bag they used is way too big for the mouse. They just stuffed it in there. So there we go.
It looks nice. Is it plastic?
It is in fact plastic. The clicking isn't terrible. You hear that? I brought it close to my nose and it smells like dinosaurs. Like it's like whatever they do to turn oil into plastic, they did just okay. So like when you're 3D printing with resin, the idea with 3D printing with resin is that you turn the light on just long enough to solidify it, and then the idea is like after the fact you'll then like turn it into a solid object.
Right.
Now you're getting just past the point of Jello. They've done that with the oil here. It it smells like a glove box that's been closed for 20 years. I ain't kidding you.
Whew, that's like a combination of rat pee and Wheaties.
And okay, to give you an idea of how cheap they were with the plastic, so you can see it's got these contoured in wings right here, right? You can see where I'm running my finger, right? So it's got something that your thumb can rest against, right here. They didn't even bother to make the plastic solid. It's actually gapped.
Keeps the cost down.
That's some factory direct weight reduction right there.
The Guinness said smells like China. Well, then it would smell like the inside of a Harbor Freight store.
Okay, so made in China. That is correct.
Oh, of course.
It's a 3-button mouse. It does look like these could be buttons, but they chose not to be today. And the wheel has no rubber on it. It's just got some plastic molded nubbies in it.
Nice. Okay.
So I guess I have to plug this in now.
Is this a laser mouse or does it have a ball?
It's a phaser mouse, actually. it uses a light bulb. Okay.
Incandescent bulb.
So here's my theory: is that it's just the cheapest mouse electronics they could cram into there, and then the RGB on it is actually going to be like that super cheap. Like it's got a single LED in it that has red, green, and blue, and it just rolls between the colors.
It could be, or it could have 3 different, just 3 basic LEDs.
So the brightness isn't gonna.
I don't know. That looks pretty spectacular.
It's okay. So my camera's sensitivity or the brightness, the light gain or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? It's too high, so you can't see the video in all its glory. So let's go ahead the exposure. So let's go ahead and expose ourselves a little less.
Local Maker Michigan said wet cardboard and throw up.
Okay, there. Now you guys can get a. So
is that a shade of brown that it just went through?
I think the entire thing's a shade of brown. If you're catching my meaning. Okay, well, let's go ahead and drop out my Microsoft Premium mouse and see if it's time to switch the teams up here now.
That's at least a 40-watt easy bake oven light bulb.
Oh geez. I'm trying to think of what. I guess I could load up like Counter-Strike Global Offensive on a demo, and we can just. I can screen share. I think I can set it up so you guys can see what I'm doing, and we'll see how it handles it. My initial impressions is that this is going to be life-changing. Maybe life-ending. I don't know. I feel like I've got the cancer in my hand from the dinosaurs.
Could be.
Okay,
probably going to be a little bit of lag in that one.
I'm trying to think if I've used a worse mouse. I think I have to actually like use it to decide, like doesn't feel terrible. It doesn't like the fact that I left another game running upstairs. It's like I'm gonna kick you out of the game.
Give up on tech because of this. That's it. I'm shutting down PNP Retrospective. It just can't go on.
I made it through the days of having to use jumpers to set the processor speeds and obscure manuals and non-standard proprietary connections, but this mouse is the one that finally made me.
I know how to set an IRQ table for a piece of hardware that's unknown to anything, but I can't take this mouse.
Okay, so let's see. Can't alt tab into anything right now because Counter-Strike is currently launching. So just bear with me. My display name in Counter-Strike is my monitors from 1985. Oh, Did my audio cut out there, or can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Your camera's cutting in and out.
That's okay. Nobody cares. Okay, so we're gonna add a game capture, and we're gonna say just go.
Chat is cracking me up today. You guys are just on fire.
Let's see, where are you? CS:GO.
Sanders said 91 is pressed and the fingers on the other one.
Okay, are you able to see my are you guys able to see Counter-Strike right now? Or the menu?
Nope, we see you.
Oh, I know why.
Wait, do I? Somebody knows why. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Huh. Okay, let's try.
And he said, I use a mouse that I purchased in 2006 for $2.50, and it's still working great. 4 buttons, left and right, 2 on the left side for thumb. Scroll wheel, which also has a button and a red light underneath. That sounds like a pretty fancy $2.50 mouse.
Let's try. Okay, so that works in the fact that everything that's being captured is being recaptured, right? Okay, so how about now?
Nope, still you. Okay, there's something. Play. Oh.
Now is it working?
Some kind of a menu.
Do you see practice with bots?
I can see it. I can't read it, but I can see it drop down. I can see your mouse moving around and icons changing on the CS:GO.
Okay. Okay. I think we might be. I'm just playing against bots. I was playing competitively at one point using that old TV I had. So I changed my name to My Monitor is Made in 1985.
You have to look at the chat.
Okay, let me open it up in my let me open it up on my phone so I can see everything.
It's it's being held for review. I'm gonna release it. It's funny to me. And then I'm gonna say read it quick because this person needs to go away. I guess in fairness, I should say Lola J, if you're a legitimate user, stop because you look spammy and I'm about to kick you.
Oh, I see that. Oh, they apologized.
Okay, good enough. All right. As long as it's we don't do anything political here because politics make friends be enemies.
Yep. Friends be enemies.
But it was funny. It was funny. I don't care which side you're on because, well, no, we're not going to go there.
Okay, we're good. I've got chat, so I can see it here. This game loads very slow on this computer specifically, and I don't know why.
Apology accepted, Lola. Welcome.
Hello, LA Lola.
Hey, you're going to get me demonetized.
Not the way I sing. Okay. I've got my dual Berettas. BA Berettas. Can you guys, so you can see the gameplay now, right?
Yep. Of course, it's going to appear to us laggy anyway, but. My air kicked out. Now it's hot in here. Oof.
It's gotten hot in here. That's
this down. All
I'm
this laughter makes me sweaty. That
round ended before I saw any of them.
Adam said, "Ever thought about a desk mat instead of 2 mouse pads? That way you don't miss." So I don't know. I probably have shared this, but I keep the mouse pads there because I rub the skin off my elbows, and I got an infection in my elbow one time, and it almost killed me. So
That
that's
means in an
really
alternate universe, it did kill you.
well, maybe. But that's why I keep the mouse pads here. But I've been putting them under the arms of the chair so that they don't make noise on the table. But I don't know. I have a whole box of these back from my t-shirt making days. So how's the garage coming along? Sorry, no time to watch all the channel. Well, you should be watching that one more than this one. I actually I didn't do anything in the garage this week because, I'm down and out, but as far as like mudding the drywall, if that's what you're asking about, the wall itself, I got all that drywall hung. I went to mud it, and my drywall mud was bad, and I haven't gone to buy any more.
Does drywall mud go off, or is it like pre-mixed drywall mud?
It's pre-mixed,
Okay.
but
When
it's that bucket. I've had it since I built this apartment, which would have been like 10 years ago.
that's fair.
Yeah, so it was gross. It was
When
like all brown and
when we moved into this house, they left 2 boxes of dry stuff in like underneath the stairs here. So we didn't see it until we started like, moving stuff in. And I tried to give it away and nobody wanted it.
well, yeah. That's one of those things that you don't need it until you need it, and you don't really want it sitting around otherwise. I mean, here that kind of stuff goes bad real fast because it'll absorb moisture, just like bags of like tile mortar and tile grout. If they get even the smallest puncture in the bag, it'll solidify the bag in about 6 months. I mean, not the bag itself, but all the contents in it. So, Andy said, "Have to go, sir. Thank you for the great show. Can't handle combat stuff anymore. Sorry to see you all next week." My apologies, Andy, and I totally understand.
That's enough of this then.
So James shall be scolded, and I'll put him in timeout. Didn't even think about that. That was kind of a little not nice of us, wasn't it?
I have shut it down and we will not do it again. In the event that they're still here, and I apologize.
Dust said cement mix is good at that too. Absolutely, it is.
I would say the mouse's performance is okay. It was better than I expected, but I was only playing against bots, so
it's okay for a $4 mouse.
It's okay for a $4 mouse. Give me 2 seconds. Just camera off. Somebody's walking by.
Well, you can't schedule walk-bys at a more convenient time.
No, I can't.
My nose is so itchy, but when I touch it, it hurts. You ever like got water jetted up your nose? Like you jump into the pool or whatever, and you get that charge of water up your nose.
Yep.
And it like that good sting that you get from it. That's what my nose has felt like for days. So, feel pity for me. John Strand said, "So who is going to Earth?" We know James is not going to Earth, and I'm actually still a little bit undecided. I have family approval to go, but the reason that I'm hesitant is because I still don't want COVID, and y'all some dirty people. So many people got sick after Murph.
Yep. That's what I hear.
I just don't know if I want to take the chance. And then, my wife says, "Oh, that's just silly." if she hears me talking like this, she's gonna say, "Why do you make me have that voice?" But she's like, "It's here to stay. It's gonna be around." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm a higher risk for bad stuff." So. So I don't know. I want to see everybody. John said, "Man, you're gonna get sick at some point." No, I don't go anywhere, John. I don't leave my house. I go to church, and occasionally I might go to the store, but I really don't. I don't go places. So not to say I won't get it, but I have a lot less chance of getting it.
Just jump in with both feet.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, because of my condition, when I get sick, it's like tenfold. I'm tired of being sick. I just want to be a strong boy. Oh, yeah. Even like when we go to church, I don't get up on people. Like if they approach me to talk, I don't like. If I'm sitting, I stay sitting so that I'm further away from them, and then I look at them and I say, "You look dirty. Get away from me." I'm a high risk as well, but still need to get out because otherwise I can lay in my casket already. Well, I mean, so I've been a homebody for a long time. I'm very introverted. I suffer from social anxiety disorder. I generally don't like people. Because people are just messed up. But I really kind of have everything I need here at home. And what I don't have, my wife will get for me. Oh, Duff said being awesome is not an at-risk condition.
Glenn wouldn't know.
No, I have no idea what that's like. No, I really want to go because I haven't seen everybody in so long. I mean, not that anybody really remembers who I am or liked me to begin with. I just like to pretend that people liked me.
Yeah, everybody knows who you are. You're the dad of Peg Leg Paul.
I'm the guy that Joel Telling gave a piggyback ride to.
One of the guys that Joe Telling gave a piggyback ride to.
Yeah, there was a tweet somebody had tweeted, like if I was going to go to Earth, where should I look for a room where all the cool kids stay? And I think it was Pooch had chimed in and said, "Oh, look around here or whatever." And I wanted to say, "I'm not a cool kid. Where should I stay?" But the only reaction I would imagine getting was at home. No, I would feel better about going if James was going, but
probably next year.
Yeah.
Our situation is more temporary, so.
I will definitely be at Orlando Maker Fair this year, though. I got to get my tickets now, though. They got a deal going on where you can get tickets for $10. It's their 10th anniversary, so. John, you're going to Maker Fair in Orlando? Yes. I have to. They wouldn't make it. They wouldn't survive without me. I don't think I'm exhibiting, though. That's way too much talkings. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should drag the old FK one out one more time. I wanted it to make it to Earth. It's been to Murph. It's never been to Earth. But this year is not the year for that. Because if I go to Earth, I'm flying up. I'm not driving. You know, being that the Fummins isn't done yet. Plus, I'll be going by myself, so that's a long, long drive by yourself. What?
What?
Oh, I'm building Lego. It's just not sure what they got me doing here. They do some crazy stuff. So with the crash of the Linux server, also was the crash of my Minecraft server. So at first I was going to attempt to, save our world. And then I finally asked Zach if it was worth it. And he's like, no. So if you're looking for a great seed, at least for Java edition, 2. Just 2.
Just the number 2.
What's that?
Just the number 2.
Just number 2. It spawns you onto an island. Well, it's almost an island. There's a little tiny connecting part at one end, but it has water almost all the way around it, and it's got like mountains in the back and mountains over here and mountains over here. Like it's a very well protected area. It's pretty legit.
Maybe I'll launch it right now and we can show it off. You can talk about it.
Just take a little look-see.
Take a little look-see. I haven't launched Minecraft in here for a while, though, so it may not be done before the stream's over.
Well, I was using Spigot MC.
Yep.
And I went to paper this time because I read up on paper, and it's based off of Spigot. But it's supposed to be faster.
I found paper much faster, to be honest.
So, well, I've had 0 lag situation. So,
yeah, it is a long trip. If Kay and I do it, and it'll be next year. Like any of the long trips, we divide them up, so we spend a couple of days here and there, and sort of do many vacations along the way for places we wouldn't get to see. But until the stuff with Kay is rectified, we aren't going anywhere or doing anything. Kay and I are on vacation this upcoming weekend, are doing nothing. I mean, we got some road trip stuff planned, but basically avoiding everybody else like the plague.
Literally. And then Brian said, and it'll never leave the crate again. Actually, now that it's down here, it's super easy to get it in and out. I mean, the crate is, right out there. So it was loading it up and getting it down the stairs. I would have to bring it down the stairs, maneuver it out, get it out of the house, bring it around the front and all the way out here to the garage to crate it up. So
I'm going to turn off my camera just for a second, because sometimes when I spawn single worlds, I use profanity, so I'd rather not have anybody see that. And
wow,
no longer respect Glenn for being friends with me.
I really thought that I had vetted my co-host better than that. James is such a potty mouth. So when I set up the server this time, I gave it the same server name because it's the name of my server, and then like in the config file you can change. I forget what the setting is, but it says like a Minecraft server is the default. So I changed mine to word to your mother.
Word to your mother and also to you. More world options. We're gonna use 2,
right? Yep, just 2.
And we're going to go with the pottiness and we're going to call it Poopies. Super
We'll
mature.
call it Potty Mouth Canadian.
Flappy-headed Canadians. I guess I'll bump myself up so people can see my lovely face. Hey, look at me. I'm a Minecraft YouTuber, gamer, Twitch streamer. I'm going to build something that looks like a bunch of square butts.
Butts.
So just so everybody knows, I did have a plan for today. It just fell apart.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I also installed a plugin, and I can't remember the name of it. It's a mapping plugin, and then it runs in the web server. All right, so where you are right now, if you look to the north.
How am I supposed to know which way is north?
All right, so spin. Okay, that's south. That's the mountain to the south. So if you turn exactly, so that's the way that the island runs right there. There is a big crevasse through the middle of it, so don't run too fast. And it's a long freaking way down. Are you in survival or?
I'm in survival mode.
Okay.
Does this look like your island? Do we have it right?
Yeah, it's definitely it. I'd recognize those trees anywhere.
I like to punch the trees that you like. There. Now my island's different than your island.
Oh, no, mine's way different anyway because I have a huge castle built in the middle of mine already. I've been sick for days. What do you think I've been doing?
Picking your nose.
Well, no, that's what got me sick.
There. Now I've got wood.
So when you get to that far end, you'll see that the quote unquote island is still technically attached. So I used world edit tools and terraformed through there.
Oh, so you cheated.
I didn't cheat. I used the tools I have available to me. So instead of just digging it out, I wanted it to look natural. So now turn back and look to the south. Look at that glorious island. And then what's really cool is like, well, where you were just looking, if you look back to the south and then just a little bit more to the right where the water is, right about there, there's actually like water going into a cave. It looks like the Tunnel of Love. Unfortunately, it doesn't go in very far, but give me just a second. I can hear something. It almost sounds like somebody's shooting. I just thought about it. It could be my kid jumping on the trampoline because it's raining. And when you jump on the trampoline when it's wet, it's like a drum.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm looking for this cave you're talking about.
Hang on a second. No, that's not what it was either. I have no idea what I was hearing then.
This cave you're talking about?
What's that?
Cave you're talking about?
I'd have to see it from the outside.
You don't know that from. You don't know it from the inside?
I've only been in there once. All right,
And
spin around. Spin around. That's the one, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
needs to keep going.
John said you're crafting your wood.
It indeed was. I'm gonna cheat, like my buddy Glenn does all the time.
I like those world edit tools because you can modify the terrain and make it look natural. But that mapping plugin is absolutely incredible. Like they describe it as a Google Maps for Minecraft. It shows all the players where they are on the map. The map is, fog of war until you actually visit there, and then it starts to draw in. It's pretty neat. Now I don't have to constantly ask Zach where he is.
I can hear Kayleen cooking, so I think she opted out of the takeout option.
Uh-oh. She's like,
That's
I'll
okay.
get him. He's going to eat what I make him.
That's okay. I'm used to disappointment.
Good thing she doesn't watch these streams.
Who would?
I don't know.
Oh look, there's extra water there. It's like it was meant to come through here.
Brian said, I just tried something interesting because I got bored. Thanks, Brian. I have 2 Fire Sticks with Sling on both. I loaded the same channel at the same time, and one of the TVs has a 2-second lag. Well, I suppose it has to do with just how long it takes to load. I've had that issue where we've tried to watch the same thing on Netflix on 2 different TVs, and it.
There's always a little extra something in there.
Yeah. So, Better Call Saul is tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow's Monday, right? Yeah, it's tomorrow.
My cable provider's a little late. I always get it the next day.
Oh, there's a skeleton just hanging out there. As much as I want to see more Saul and the Breaking Bad stuff and everything, I think it's kind of run its course. I think they'd be starting to beat a dead horse. The storyline's been like pretty well progressed at this point.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So there was a news article. His last name's Gilligan, right? The writer. He's already working on ideas for his next series, but it's not going to be anything like Breaking Bad or
it's some sort of sci-fi.
Well, because he worked on X-Files.
Yeah. The Y-Files.
But yeah, Xander was kind of hinting around that he wanted to watch Breaking Bad. Him and the wife just finished watching Lost. They did a marathon of Lost, which was so much fun with him watching it. Because he would get so mad about stuff. But But he's like, yeah, I'm thinking maybe Breaking Bad next, and I'm like, okay. And he, like I think he was trying to fish to see if I would let him. And I said, just there's a lot of bad language and stuff in it, so moderate yourself.
And a little
Don't
bit of nudity,
don't do
I think.
don't do crack or whatever it is they're making. Heroin,
Meth.
meth. There you go. I knew it was one of those. I don't know nothing about that stuff. Um,
Whatever you say, Heisenberg.
but I said you got to watch that and Better Call Saul, but you have to watch them in that order. You can't watch Better Call Saul and then Breaking Bad. You have to watch Breaking Bad first.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because it does give away stuff that happens after
Right.
Breaking Bad. Yeah, you're right.
I think it would be confusing too if you were to watch it the other way.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Like I was only thinking of the flashback stuff, but the rest of the stuff would be super confusing.
Yeah. I mean, not that Better Call Saul hasn't been confusing at this point because of all the flashback stuff. And
I think I was talking about last week where Kay was like, "Is this a flashback?" I'm like, "The whole series is a flashback."
technically, yeah. It's the other part of the story. So I
What
also
happened?
seen an article too that Cinnabon got like a huge boost off of being the shop
Makes
in
sense
the
to me.
show, and I thought that's pretty funny. I love me some Cinnabon, but of course I'm diabetic. I could just eat a pound of sugar.
I've had a good run.
I'm always very disappointed in myself when I get to the end of a group of steps and I have a lot of parts left over. Yeah. No wonder this is an 18 and up kit. Whew. Because the instructions were written by a 4-year-old. No,
And
it's just
18
because
seemed really old to them when they wrote the instructions.
I'm not fully paying attention. Trying to do more than one thing at a time and not in my mind, my normal frame of mind anyway. Also, who hates the fact that price of everything is going through the roof lately? Well, I kind of appreciate paying a little more for stuff. It makes me appreciate the things. No, it sucks. I can't stand it. Oh, no. See, this is going to take us down. Yeah, I just gotta stop. I'm just gonna stop right now because I'm gonna say some stuff and I'm gonna offend somebody.
You offended me. Does that matter?
No, not really.
Okay, I did
So
it.
I went through using a couple pieces of software and like blocked a bunch of stuff on Twitter so that I don't see like what's trending and all of that stuff now. Um,
You'd never end up there anyways. You'll never be trendy.
no, right. No, I won't miss the fact that I'm trending because I'll never trend. That's not the point. But so then every once in a while, something will happen where, well, it pretty much happens if I pull up Twitter on my tablet, I see all that stuff, which is a problem because then I see what's trending and then I say to myself, what is wrong with the world?
Yep. There's usually at least half of the stuff is related to some sort of politics.
Oh, it was definitely politics. Well, so we were watching the Game Show Network the other night, the wife and I, watching the Game Show Network the other day. And Family Feud was on with Steve Harvey. That guy's funny. He's a funny guy. His reactions to some of the stuff people say, worth its weight in gold. So the question was, if you could switch places with any woman in the world, who would it be? And these people, this family, it was all sisters, and they were probably, I don't know, 20s to 30s. None of them were really old, because 30's old. But they were picking people like Kim Kardashian, and I don't remember who it was, but it was like just people who are popular on Instagram and that kind of stuff. And it was like, finally one of them said Oprah, and I'm like, there you go. She's worth, huge dollars. But it was like they were just picking people that were like trendy popular.
Like I'd pick Wonder Woman because I don't want to exist. Hey, do you see what I did? Do you see this wonderful thing? Check this out. Look at that. Look at the beauty of that.
So now you can leave the island by boat and get to more water.
That's right, in case I ever run out, because I peed in all the water over here.
Yeah, the only downside is one of the draws to that is that water is not connected to any other body of water.
Well, it is now.
You've ruined the map. Now I got to go in and fix it on mine. How bad would that suck if that's the way that Minecraft worked?
Every time you change your map, anybody else using that seed also sees the change. That'd be pretty funny, actually.
Builder's Mark said, "Hope everyone is doing well."
Nope.
It could be worse.
I woke up this morning, so day was already off to a crappy start.
I don't know if I can pick this up, but so that's how far I've gotten so far. I didn't work on this at all this week. I mean, honestly, I forgot it was even out here. And then today I was like, oh yeah.
Isn't that supposed to be you and a Zach project, or?
Well, Zach was supposed to be out here helping me. I gave him the option to come out, but like I said, he was at a pool party, so
Too cool.
he was pretty tired. So he goes to a private Christian school now. And I guess I should preface this with another story. We only have one middle school around here. And if you Google the name of that middle school and the word arrested, Google will come back with pages and pages and pages of arrest records from that school. That's how bad that school is. I mean, it's technically built in a ghetto, so you can't really expect much else. I say all that because I want you to understand why Zach now goes to a private school. And again, we would have never been able to afford it if it wasn't for grants. And we got the grants and the is it grants? No, what's the other one that you get? Scholarships. We got the scholarships because he's ADD. So I don't want y'all thinking I'm some highfalutin paying big money for my kid to go to a special private school. But so here's the bulk of the story. One of the requirements is to go to that school, you have to attend church on Sundays. Not there. You just have to attend a church on Sundays. So the wife and I were joking around during orientation and like, how are they going to know? Like, are they going to call your pastor and check up on you? Now, this pastor happens to know my pastor, so that could honestly happen. But no, they send a sheet of paper home, like homework on Fridays that he has to fill out on what he learned and what the lesson was about and who taught it to return it back to school on Monday. I'm like, man, this kid doesn't need any more homework. My wife said to me, "Oh, did you see what Zach brought home?" And I'm like, "No." And she shows me the paper. I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." No cheating that one. Alan King said, "Send the water to the UK." Yeah, well, I mean, the west coast of the U.S. needs it too. Colorado River's drying up. Lake Mead's drying up, and that's a huge, huge, huge reservoir of water.
Builder's Mark says that was an awesome video short I saw on the Twitters that someone posts of you.
But who? Oh, I think I know what he's talking about. So somebody posted a video of this guy working on an engine overhead. I don't know if you've seen it. And he's like, it looks set up to me, but like the wrench would slip, and he's like swearing at it and throwing stuff, and like. But I'm sorry, Mark. I don't do that. I used to be that guy. I absolutely used to be that guy. But I broke these two bones in my hand, punching stuff because I was angry. It didn't go well.
I'm sure it had it coming.
And then I broke my foot because I kicked the tire of a car because I was mad. Not even at the car, just mad. And then it was really kind of at that point I said, "All right, I'm all done. I'm all done doing that. Not doing that anymore." So I swear I thought it was you. Oh no, you'll know it when it's me. Yeah, no, I seen that you tagged me. I didn't respond, but I did like your response, just so that you knew that I was watching you, always watching.
Always watching.
Yeah, it felt pretty set up though. Like just the whole thing felt set up. The way it was edited and stuff. Edited. The engine catches on fire. I don't know. It was pretty funny. I mean, I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
I'd give it a bleep out of bloop.
Oh, nope. Did something wrong again. Oh, I see what I did.
Spaceship?
Spaceship! Gotta pay more attention. Yeah, I think this set is a 18 and up set just because they didn't write the instructions to the same level that they typically do. Like it doesn't call it out specifically, do this, do this, do this. It's just kind of some pictures, and then you got to figure out what parts you need. No, that's not true. They do tell you what parts you need, but
He probably dropped his 10mm.
Nope, that's not true at all. Because that thing's been lost for a year. There's a company out there that sells a set of just 10mm.
Builder's Mark is requesting to post that here.
What?
I'm assuming he's talking about the short video.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
not safe for work.
Yeah, be warned, everybody, that there is some language involved. I won't actually like play it live. Gotta find it to drop it. Exactly. That thing's been lost forever. Nope. I'm a little OCD when it comes to my tools like that. I didn't used to be. Like, I just dumped all my sockets in a drawer. And then one time I bought a socket tool kit, and the sockets had little like places in the drawer of the toolbox. Like the organizer was already built in. And my dad had made a snide joke about, Well, I don't know why you bought that, because you're just going to dump all your tools in a drawer anyway. And so then, out of spite, I never did. And I learned to absolutely love having a spot for every tool, because then I would know when something was missing, like the 10 millimeter. And so ever since then, now when I got all those new Tecton tools last Christmas, I made sure that I also got the socket rails for them too. And at the end of every day when I'm putting stuff away, that's where I go. I check that socket, that rail, and if there's anything missing, then I got to stop and go back and locate it. So I'm a little forgetful sometimes.
You already said that.
Said what? I don't remember what we were talking about.
I think you might be a little forgetful sometimes.
Yeah, I am sometimes.
So I have this.
Who are you again?
I'm Glenn from Fun King 3D.
Oh, I've heard about you. You're good.
You definitely haven't heard of me then.
Jerk.
I have not an original, because there's about 1 billion different types of Pong consoles, as you probably know. But I've got this old Lloyd 801 TV system, and when I got it, it was bought untested because the guy didn't have anything to hook it up
Wait,
to.
what is that?
A Pong console.
Oh, Pong.
Yeah. It's the Lloyd's TV 501 or 801. Sorry, 801. Right? Yeah, 801. Anyways, when I bought it untested because the guy didn't have anything to hook it up to. And when I got it, one of the paddles was invisible. And I plugged it in to test it, and now both paddles are invisible.
How did you plug it in if it was invisible? How did you know where it was?
Exactly. Answering your own questions. So my theory right now is probably leaky capacitors.
Yeah, I was gonna say there can't be much inside of that thing.
Yeah, I think everything's sort of solid state logic. Somebody's already taken this apart at least once, because I can see the damage around the screw holes.
Yeah.
Let's face it, it was probably me. Also, there's a screw missing, so that's usually a pretty clear indicator that something's been disassembled. Not by me specifically, but I mean, it's not a strike against either.
Sanders said, when working on aircraft, it's a duty to put back, because we had a ratchet in a flying wing making noise. Oh yeah, aircraft would definitely. You definitely don't want to drop something down where you're not supposed to in an aircraft. That's, car breaks down, you coast to the side of the road. Oof.
It's a little more effort to coast in an airplane.
Back when I worked for John Deere, they labeled everything in the spot it was supposed to go. PC mouse was even labeled as well as an outline of the mouse drawn on the table to put it back. Duff said it's like picking up a car from the shop. Always pop the hood and make sure there's no tools left on the cowl. I'll tell you what, when I was a kid and didn't work on my own stuff, we had a mechanic, but he was a friend of the family. He was a friend of ours. Otherwise, I would have had a great tool collection just off of the crap that he would leave in our cars.
What am I getting for the collection today?
What's that?
It's like, what am I getting for my collection today?
Yeah, well, my parents would pick up the cars, and then we would get a phone call. Did I leave a ratchet in there? We have to go look.
So when I do the video on this, I'm gonna act like it's the first time I've taken it apart in the video. So
oh yeah, YouTubers never do that. I'm trying to think. I don't honestly think there's too many times that I pre-set up anything during the Fummins build. I mean, that whole thing went pretty well. I don't think that I had to like pre-test and like I had to pre-test. There was a couple things that I didn't film because I wasn't really sure how it was going to go.
Right.
And then like at the point that I figured out how it was going to go, I was already near the end. So I learned the hard way not to do that. I gotta, just film everything. Film everything and use what works, or use what you should. I mean, I never ever mind showing failure because that's how you learn. If everything you do is a success, you're not learning anything.
I'm surprised to find that there's an actual well, here, I'll just grab the camera. There's an actual chip in here. I thought it was going to be all like solid state or not discrete logic. What's the terms I'm looking for?
That's a PROM chip, isn't it?
It is.
EEPROM?
It is an EEPROM. Maybe? I would say because it looks like the right window is covered up on it. Also, look how like they didn't cut any of the components. I'm just trying to, let's see.
They just left them long and laid them over.
Yeah, like this guy. Sorry, right here.
What is that on that PROM chip? The I don't know if that's the first pin or the last pin, but it looks like maybe two are soldered together, or is it just something on the board that?
Oh, I think it's just something on the board.
Oh.
It's funny though, because it looks like the first pin on each corner is not actually connected to anything on here.
Which is possible.
Yeah.
Because those might be just the like the right activation pins.
Yep. And sometimes it's additional grounds and stuff like that you don't actually need. And they didn't use a proper socket. They used some sort of soldering like pin connection. So it's not a full socket. Like everything's independently.
Individual pins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I might have actually potentially just fixed it just by like wiggling it around. It takes off some of the oxidization.
Yeah. Pong. What a fun game that was. How come games can't be simple anymore?
You know why. Because we can't have nice things anymore.
Dollars. Grisilla and I just watched that movie, Uncharted.
Yeah.
Which is, not based off of, but, based off of the video game. It was pretty good. I give it thumbs up.
That says I better put some money in here before closing it up. That was a big thing on Reddit there for a bit, which is what I'm assuming the reference is. That people kept saying, "Oh, look what I found in this GameCube that I just bought," or whatever.
Oh, so like hide something in there and then pretend to open it up.
Yeah. So somebody got ridiculous. Like, look what I found in my GameCube. It's like opens the door and it's like, and the seesaw is like a stack of money. And like, oh, but what's this? There's another panel underneath. Open that, another stack of money. But wait, opens the other one. Wait a second, is that keys? Goes out to the front. There's a BMW sitting in the driveway. And he's like, holy cow! And it's like, but check it out. And he opens the trunk, and there's like another GameCube in the trunk. And then he opens. You get the idea.
That's brilliant. I wish I had that kind of imagination.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
We've learned from making mistakes and not just sailing through. And we can do 100 things right, but are known for that one thing we did wrong.
I feel that.
Well, and with the internet,
no mistake is ever lost.
No, there's always somebody on the internet that's smarter than you are.
Yep, it's me.
I mean, the thing is like, I invite that person. The problem is that person never wants to have a civil conversation.
Yeah.
They want to be snide and be like, oh, you should have done it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll be like the smallest, most inconspicuous thing. And they're like, you have no right to being near a computer or near an engine. if you don't know this simple one thing, and it's like, okay, but like that's you're discrediting everything I've ever done based on one small mistake.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. See, like, so the comment that I would make on the other channel is way different than the comment that I would make about that on this channel.
I remember one person commented on something and like basically corrected a bunch of stuff it did, and then said ultimately this is a perfect example of how not to do this. And I was like, wow, right for the throat.
Well, and then people are like, "Oh, you did that wrong. You should do it like this, or it's like this." So then I always reply back with, "Well, is that actually the right way to do it, or it's just the way you do it?" Like.
Yep. Give me a reason why what I did is not going to be okay.
Right. Yeah. Walk me through it. Well, and it's hard too because, like, I mean, I've not necessarily called people out, but I've asked in mainly in Facebook groups. And I always like like over explain, like, listen, I'm not arguing with you. I want you to explain to me why you think that, so that I can make a educated decision on how I want to move forward. Like, and then they think that you're being
Standoffish or
confrontational.
whatever. Yeah.
And it's like, no, I want to learn. I want to learn every day. If I go through a whole day without learning something, then I did something wrong. And then I just call the guy a jerk and tell him to bugger off.
The other thing I get to is a lot of people like saying stuff and asking a question or making a comment, and I respond and they just never reply.
Right.
It's like, well, wasn't that a waste of my time? And the
Yep.
answer is yes. Yes, it was.
Yep. So, or even when people they ask for help on a forum or whatever, or a used group or whatever, a Usenet group, going back in time, and then they'll come back and they'll reply like, "Oh, I figured it out." Well, how about telling us what you figured out so that the next guy that comes along. At work, I give them the wrenches and say, "You do it better than me, so go ahead." They always look super surprised. Oh, yeah, I have to be have to be careful because this is a public forum, but I have an issue where I have a certain person in my life. That's as far as we'll go. That micromanagingly tries to explain to me how to do my job that I've been doing for 8 years. And I get so frustrated. I'm like, "Are you really telling me how to do this?" And it's not that I can't learn. I mean, if I'm legitimately doing something wrong, that's one thing, but no.
It hasn't happened to me, but I've heard that that type of stuff also happens a lot in software development roles where you've got managers that aren't developers. They're there to manage people. And
Right.
so they'll be like, oh yeah, I told the client we'll have this done by the end of the week. And it's like, how are we going to have the time? Well, it's not a big deal. Just add a couple of things to a form and put it up.
Right.
It's like without any understanding of the technical expertise required behind. It's like, oh, okay. Just add a couple of things. Okay, well, how are we going to handle security around that? What do you mean security? We're just adding a couple of things. It's like,
Yeah. Or like when you custom write something and then one of the users tells you or asks you, like, "Why did you take that feature out of there?" "Well, I didn't." "Oh, it used to do that." "Nope. No, it didn't." "Oh, yeah. I used it 100 times." No, it was never in there because I never wrote that. Like, no, I don't even care anymore.
who even cares? Didn't Assassin's Creed already get made into a movie?
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure. Didn't it have like hold on.
That's one for Google's. Time is it? I got 3 minutes to finish this step. Cumberbatch.
I was gonna say Michael what's his name? Michael Fassbender. There it is. From 2016.
Oh, 2016. That's old enough that they could
Reboot it twice.
make another one and claim it's original. That's another thing that's wrong with the world today. There's like no creativity left. Everything is a reboot, remake, and it's like
re-envisioning.
Whew. I don't want to stop in the middle of a step, so I got to finish this. I was just about to say, I have yet to drop a piece on the floor, and that piece almost went on the floor. It's cheaper to copy. Yeah, well, and you don't have to pay a writer. I mean, the story's already there. And then, Top Gun almost got in big trouble because their rights had actually expired during the filming of the new one, which I have not yet seen.
It landed in third place, it looks like, this weekend. After all this time, it's still
Really?
Yeah, it pulled in yesterday almost $3 million.
Wow. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about it. I just haven't had a chance to see it.
I really enjoyed it. It finished second on Friday, third yesterday, and it's estimated it's going to finish third today.
Wow.
What's it up to? $1.37 billion.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they haven't even announced a streaming date for it yet. It's been out for 80 days. It's been out for
why,
almost 3 months.
Bother?
Yeah.
Why bother pulling it to streaming?
Yep.
If it's still making mad money in the...
Okay, so to give you an idea, the very first time that it brought in less than $1 million for a day was this past Wednesday and Thursday. It brought in $940,000 on those 2 days each.
Oh, that's because I was sick.
Yeah. People are just feeling bad, right? By proxy.
Yeah. People are like, we can't go to the movies. Glenn isn't feeling well.
Like that smash button. Well, I apologize for not having the most entertaining side of things today.
I just sat here building my Lego. The chat was on fire today, though. You guys rock.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that.
This was your stream today. Glenn's going to forward the ad revenue from the stream to you guys.
Yeah, you guys can split the 9 cents amongst yourselves.
We still have 18 watching at the end of the stream. That's pretty good. I think that's all you,
19
though.
19 on my side.
Well, there you go. I think that's all you.
I do have 19 windows open, so it could be me.
No. Oh, there, because Red Light just snuck in at the last second.
Red Light Mike just popped in, yeah.
Yeah. It's open mic night.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Always coming in right at the end.
That way on purpose.
That way he gets credit for being here, but doesn't have to sit through this.
Yeah.
I didn't even see. Did my mom ever say goodbye? I doubt she's still watching. my mom told me, she goes, I always watch for your garage videos. I can't watch those other ones though. They're boring. I said, well, yeah, they're boring if you're not interested in what we're talking about. Like, heck, I'm interested in what we're talking about, and it's boring. I didn't have a topic for today. I was going to try to line up a topic, but by the time that I created that amazing thumbnail and this new background, I was out of creative juices and just played Minecraft for the rest of the afternoon.
What's at number 1? Oh, I missed it. Number 1 was Bullet Train. Bullet Train, then DC League of Super Pets, then Top Gun Maverick, then Thor, and Nope.
I don't even know if I've ever heard of those first two. I assume the League of Super Pets or whatever is a cartoon.
Yeah. This Wednesday and Thursday is also the first time that Thor dropped below $1 million a day, but that's after being only open for 34 and 35 days.
Can you even fathom that? $1 million a day.
Yeah.
That's what I've always said. I would like to know what Disney makes just in parking, because I bet it's incredible. Of course, I'd also like to know what their like daily. They don't really have electric bills, but what their daily electric usage is, because I bet that's pretty phenomenal as well.
Thor of Love and Thunder is not going to hit the $1 billion mark. 720 million is where it sits right now, and I don't see it getting to 750, to be honest.
Mike said, well, you know, I am busy a lot of times. I know, I'm just picking. But I was more picking on us than you, so.
You can pick on your viewers, and you can pick on your nose, but you can't pick on your viewers' noses.
No, you don't want to pick on your nose. You get a sinus infection. Thought we covered that already today.
We did probably, but I got a memory like you.
Who are you again?
I am Iron Man.
You know, speaking of memory, I was going to start taking that Prevagen, but I can't afford that. It's ridiculous. It's like $70 a bottle. So my wife picked up this stuff from Sam's Club called Neuriva. And I'll tell you, it honestly works. Or it's a really good placebo, one or the other. But it's helped me to like not fumble as much with words, or I still lose people's names, but I've always been bad with names. Missed a step again. Too busy talking. Oh, that looks right. Well, what do they got me doing?
I don't know.
You can tell it's that way by the way it is. It's gonna be one of my favorite. It's gonna be one of my favorite things that he says. Good old Derek.
Sanders 3D is shoving off. He has to be up in 4.5 hours. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here.
Hopefully we'll see you again next week.
That's where it goes. I got it. Everybody that was telling me that it went there, that's where it went.
Are you still working on the same step?
No, I'm done now. That was it. That was the last pieces of that step. That was bag number 4.
Well, I'm supposing we should wrap up then.
It is that time, yeah, because the next step is to open bag number 5, and we don't want to do that unless we're going to keep on keeping on.
Bag 5 next week.
Bag 5 next week. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you guys let me know if this is a ridiculous project to be working on. I think that as long as I can maintain chat at the same time, it's not so bad. It's better than me sitting here twiddling my thumbs. And you guys get to see the amazing progress. It's pretty cool. I got so much stuff piled around here.
Oh, 2 seconds. I did have one other thing to show that I just thought of just now. Oh. I did get one more piece of, well, it's not merch, although I guess technically you could go and buy it because it is on the store, but one more thing for filming.
Is that a bath mat?
No, it's a desk mat. Very close though.
What's it made out of?
Material?
Is it mouse pad?
Yeah, mouse pad material. It's got like the sticky
Neoprene?
rubberized back, and then
Yeah.
so I figure that'll go well to cover up all the imperfections on my desk.
Yeah, except you're putting another imperfection right over the top of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
that was uncalled for. I'm sorry.
I wish this wasn't a family-friendly channel so I could respond in kind. No, this is for. I've noticed that when I film dark laptops on a dark wood grain finish thing with a dark background, it doesn't look good. So I wanted to get something to brighten up the space, and now I do.
Mitch 3D says Glenn has a CNC. No. Glenn does have a laser cutter it's a laser engraver, but it'll cut like 6 mil acrylic. And at some point, I'm going to get all that fired up out in the garage because I'm not allowed to do it in the house ever again. Almost set the house on fire, but
Glenn's house is on fire.
Yeah. But no, I don't have a CNC. I know a guy that's got a CNC though. I just
is his name Mitch?
If I ever need anything, I just reach out to that guy. I would still want to have a CNC plasma table. I just don't know if I could justify owning one. Like the few times that I need it would be amazing, but then I would feel like I need to constantly keep it working. I constantly making money. So, and then I'd be doing that for a living, and I don't think I want to do that for a living. So. Mitch said, I just got the laser vent window installed during this stream. Awesome. How I know we're supposed to be out of here. We're already 9 minutes over, but how is life in the new location, Mitch? Are you adapting? The whole new job and move held me back quite a bit. That usually happens. Oh, he's got a basement. Gosh, I wish I had a basement.
I have a basement. I'm in it.
If I had a basement, I'd also have an indoor swimming pool.
Because that's what the basement would become?
Yeah. Actually, here where I am, I could have a basement. But I didn't know that until after I built my house. So, because I'm high enough over the water table. I'm like 70 feet above the water table.
All right, we should probably wrap up because I think Kay's waiting on me upstairs.
Probably. She's not waiting on me upstairs.
That's probably for sure.
You got anything you want to plug?
I don't think there'll be a video this week. I did release a video last week though, so you can go check that out. It's all on that Retro TV, and I did some fun stuff with it. So.
Yes, go watch James's video because not a lot of people watched it and it hurt his feelings.
It's true. I'm still crying on the inside.
So I guess the way that I want to say this is, regardless of who it is, if you follow a YouTube channel and they release a video and you see the video and you're like, yeah, that doesn't really look like it interests me, go watch it anyway because you support that YouTuber. Watch their video. It means the world to them. If there's something specific about that YouTube video and you're like, yeah, I really don't want to watch that because it's blah, blah, let the YouTuber know that in a nice professional way. Don't be a jerk about it. But, it helps those of us who create grow.
And my understanding is it can be damaging to your YouTube account too, that if you have a bunch of people that subscribe to you and never watch your content.
Yes.
So
well, and speaking of growing your YouTube channel, I lost a subscriber on Friday when I released my video, which if you haven't watched my video on the Garage channel, what are you waiting for? Get over there. Not right this second though. We were sitting down to eat and I looked at Social Blade and I'm like, oh, I lost a subscriber. And my wife was like, oh, really? And I said, it's no big deal. I said, usually when I lose one, I get 2 back. So it could even be a glitch. I don't know. And then I've gained 4 since Friday. So growth is good. I'm trying to pull it up. It won't. I can't focus. But growth is good, and I thank everybody for watching. I mean here, but also over there, and the comments that you guys leave on YouTube. Mitch laid out a just absolute brilliant one off this last video. I don't know what happened. I got to tell you, and maybe it'll make it into the next video because that was only part one of the, and if I can find it. But I had a clip from working on that fuel tank where the audio had been lost, but I had this incredible smear of dirt across my face right here. And when I was going through the footage originally, which, was just the other day, I said, I'm going to use it. Even without audio, I'm going to use that because it was just too good with the dirt. And now I can't find that clip. I don't know where it went. So I got to try to find that because that's got to make it in. It's hysterical. It made me laugh. So, but I tried to dig on myself a little bit through all of that. Because what else can you do when you lose audio? And then I had to throw my little nod into my boy Derek over at Vice Grip Garage. He and I go way back to the time where we haven't met yet, but it'll happen eventually. So go check out James's. That was on your that's on your retrospective.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed.
Yeah, go hit James's other channel and watch that. I mean, if it's something that interests you, don't just go watch it to watch it. If you don't care, we don't care either. And if you haven't yet watched the beginning of the fuel system, go watch that. Yeah, I came up with that whole ballerina wearing concrete flippers on a buttered stage just completely off the cuff. So, watch it to watch it anyway. That's right. Let all of our stuff run in the background. I don't even care if you turn the sound down. You use the watch time. I could definitely use the watch time if you ever want to just let them roll. I would appreciate that. So, but other than that, I've got nothing. You got anything?
Nope. That's it.
Clear? Good. So this is the part where I say thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in, whether you watched us live or if you come back to watch the replay. If you come back to watch the replay, whew, good on you. Good on you for sure. But thank you guys for being here live. Again, chat was on fire today. For a guy not having any energy, you guys kept me laughing through the whole thing, and it was brilliant. You guys are just amazing. I got nothing else than that. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, as always,
print on.
Print on. Oh, my go button. My button didn't go. All right, let's do that again. So, as always, print on.